beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. Back in early March of this year I posted a video that asked homebrewers to answer 5 quick questions to see the trends of homebrewers in various key areas. For full transparency, all of the answers were made within the video's comments section. Naturally this did create a great deal of work for me, but I feel that it was worth it, and I have to say that it was fun gradually gathering the data for a short time each day. The replies are now drying up, so it is time to share the results. Some of this came as great surprise, as you will see. My greatest thanks are offered to all that took the time to take part, and without further ado, let's now look at the results. Question number 1 asked the question of how often do you brew beer on average? The answers I got back here ranged from daily, which got 2 results, all the way to yearly, with just 1 result. There was certainly a very wide range of answers here for sure, but the most popular one here by a long way was that most people brew monthly. In second place with less than half of the results compared to the top answer was brewing every other week, with a similar amount of results as the second place. In third place we have brewing every other month. In all honesty, I didn't really know what to expect here, but naturally it is great to see that people are brewing regularly. My answer here for those interested is that I brew usually at least once a week, and this is usually a test batch for the new recipes that I am constantly developing. Question number 2 asked about the average brew volume. I was astonished by the amount of different volumes that people brew, from 5 litres with just 3 results all the way to 1 result of 110 litres average batch size. The most popular answer here was 19 litres. This size did not surprise me, but actually 23 litres was very close in numbers as the second most popular result, as was also 21 litres as the third most popular brew size. So all of these 3 results were close, but the other volumes that came up in this survey all had much lower numbers. My thoughts here are that most people brew to a keg size, the most common size being 19 litre in final volume. However, choice of brewing system and fermenter do also naturally have a part to play here, and when you see the end results later of the most popular systems and fermenters, this will tie in, of course, to these results. Personally, my answer here is my most common batch size is 5 litres, which is the amount that I brew for test batches. Question number 3 asks which type of beer style do you brew the most often? To narrow things down, I asked for overall headings rather than specifics, so if someone broke this and replied New England IPA, then this went into the IPA section. If someone replied breakfast stout, then this then went into the stout section. It was of absolutely no surprise to me whatsoever that the most popular style reply was IPA, but it did surprise me that the second most popular reply, being lager, was so far behind IPA. I expected these to be closer in result. In third place we have Pale Ale, which was surprisingly close to the lager result, and at one point I wondered if Pale Ale would be the second most popular spot, but lager pulled ahead by a mere 26 extra votes. All other styles received relatively low results compared to these big first 3. However, I did note that a surprising number of people chose both Belgian and British beer styles as their answer, which was really great to see. This is actually a very difficult question for me to answer because most of my brewing is led by my viewers, and I am always keen to brew a large variety of different styles. If my brewing was just for me, then my answer here would likely be stouts. Moving on to question 4 now, and here I asked the brand and model of your brewing system. Certainly there were a very large variety of votes here, but the vast majority of votes were given to the top 5, which I will name for this section. The top result here was actually unbranded. This is mostly made up of people that simply use unbranded brew pots, but it was surprising to see just how much of this section was taken up by people that have put together their own brewing system build. In second place and just 16 votes behind the top result was the Grainfather G30. Grainfather have certainly sold a lot of these systems worldwide, and many long-term users clearly do not see a need to change it to the newer models just yet. Just a mere 8 votes behind the G30 was the Brewzilla Gen 3 system, which has been neck and neck in this race with the G30 all along. For me this is a rather surprising result, as the Brewzilla Gen 3 system has been sold since 2017 compared to the G30, which has been sold since 2014 in New Zealand, and by late 2015 it made its way to Europe and then beyond, so it is rather impressive that the Brewzilla Gen 3 system was so close considering it has been sold for a much shorter time. Other notable popular votes went to the Brewzilla Gen 4, which was only 25% behind the third place, and came in 4th, and then in 5th place was Grainfather's G40, which had about half the votes of the Brewzilla Gen 4. I guess it is realised by my viewers that I own various brewing systems, which includes a small brew in a bag setup, a Brewmonk Wi-Fi, a Brewtools B40, a Grainfather G40, as well as a Brewzilla Gen 4 35 and also the 65 litre model. The one I choose to use the most is the Brewzilla Gen 4 65 litre system. This is due to its ability to brew as low as a 5 litre batch, which is my test batch size. The 35 litre Brewzilla Gen 4 also has this batch size ability, but I use the 65 litre version on the basis that it has much stronger heating elements for much faster temperature ramp up times. Personally, I believe there is no one best brewing system for everyone, but there will be a best choice for the individual based on budget, needs and wishes. Our last question, question number 5, asks viewers about the make and model of their main fermentation vessel. Once again, there are a lot of different answers and fermentation products that came up, in fact some of which I had never heard of before, as they are just available in select or single markets. However, once again, the majority of the votes were contained within 5 popular answers, and the results for the equipment after these were very low compared to the big 5. To my surprise, Fermzilla was the most popular result rather than unbranded, which obtained the second place here. Kegeland's Fermzilla range won this hands down with 41% more votes than unbranded. Unbranded represents all of those white bucket fermenters out there, which certainly still sell in huge numbers, which makes this result especially impressive for Fermzilla. It is fair to say that the Fermzilla range of fermenters offer a great deal for the money, including the option of pressure fermentation, which has certainly been an important part of its success for a product that is available at a very down-to-earth price, especially when compared to stainless steel fermenters. In third place was Grainfather with their range of fermenters, which most notably was the Grainfather conical fermenters, which was also a surprise to me considering their higher price point, but to my mind this is Grainfather's best product to date, and clearly many agree with me that it represents very good value for money considering its construction and features. Coming in at fourth place, and another surprise to me, was that it is still very popular to use a stainless steel corny keg as a fermentation vessel. Certainly you lack some very useful features that are available on purpose-built pressure fermenters by using a keg in this way, but a keg is something that is going to last for many years, and fermenting this way for sure offers a lot of convenience, and it comes in at a price that will not break the bank. Then finally in fifth place was Fermentation Vessels from the company SS Brewtech. I found this somewhat surprising considering the large range of vessels offered by this company, and I thought their popularity. I guess this and the other results found here are simply part of the current trends, and in the coming years we could well see things change, which keeps this interesting and revealing as a yearly survey. I hope that you enjoyed these HomeBrewers Survey videos and seeing the end results here. I have to say that I personally found this very interesting and intend to produce another survey for next year. I will keep these 5 questions, but would be interested in your thoughts on the following topics. Firstly, did you appreciate the openness and honesty of the survey by having the answers within the comment section of the video, or do you feel that another online survey method would suffice, or perhaps even be better? Secondly, for this first survey I really wanted to keep the questions limited, but I suspect that this could be increased if there are questions that people felt were important or especially relevant. If you have any suggestions on topics or further questions, then please also let me know on this. Thirdly and lastly, if you have any other input that can shape the HomeBrewers Survey 2025, then please do let me know. Feedback and suggestions are very much appreciated. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!